I'm Mike Quackenbush, this is Till We Make It, and today I have a rare treat for you here on the channel because I get to share with you something that has been a real relief to me over the last 3 weeks. A real challenge for me of late has been staying active while, for the most part, I am stuck at home. And this may be a scenario you can relate to. Well, my friend and yours, Alexander Dean, to the rescue. He put together for me a series of exercises that I am able to do while I am at home. It helps me to stay physically active. And on the days when I'm able to do the entire routine, I feel so much better, given I can't make it to the gym right now. My gym is closed. So I asked him if he would be willing to share this with all of you, and he graciously agreed. So in just a moment, I'm going to share with you exactly what I have been doing at home, but this will be coming to you from a real expert. Because these movements are fairly new to me. I've only just learned them in the last few weeks. I haven't mastered any of them yet. So I didn't feel like I wanted to try and turn around and teach you something I myself have no mastery of. Luckily, our friend Alexander Dean is here.
Hi guys, my name is Dean. I'm a professional wrestler performing under the name Alexander Dean. I've been a professional wrestler since 2004. I've also been a personal trainer since 2012. And throughout the course of my 2 careers, I've accrued some knowledge which I think is beneficial for you guys when it comes to preparing your bodies for the rigors of professional wrestling. And if you're watching this and you're not a professional wrestler, just the rigors of everyday life. So what I have next up here is a video detailing some warm-up exercises, which I think will be beneficial for you when it comes to staying active at home during quarantine times. And there's a couple of exercises here for core, for glutes, for shoulder mobility, and for hip mobility, as well as some movements that I think are particularly important for professional wrestlers in general to master. There's a couple of different options for each of these movements, basically allowing you to pick and choose which ones you can do according to either your skill level or what equipment you have available to you. So check out the following video and I'll tell you how to piece it together in just a moment. Okay, so our first task is activating our core. The first option I'm going to give you is a dead bug. You're going to drive your lower back into the floor, maintain core pressure while you reach your right hand and your left foot towards the floor. If you've mastered that, you can move on to the hollow rock. Again, you're going to maintain pressure in your core. You're going to allow yourself to move. However, you want to keep the position of your hips and your shoulders the same throughout. If you've mastered the hollow rock, you can do a hollow band pull apart to make things a little bit more interesting. Again, maintain core pressure. This time activating the upper back musculature with that band pull apart. Finally, if you find all that a little bit too easy, broomstick Houdinis are the next step onwards. Again, you're looking for some good rounding of the lumbar spine. You want to exhale out all your air as you reach your broomstick over your feet and try and keep your knees as close together as possible. We're then going to move on to engaging the glutes. Level 1 here is a single leg glute bridge. If you have no equipment at all, this is a perfectly acceptable way to engage the glutes. If you can use your couch or a chair, you can add more range of motion by doing an elevated glute bridge. And finally, if you want to add a little bit of instability, make things a bit more challenging, a foam roller glute bridge will engage the hamstring that little bit more. Moving on to the shoulders, the prone Y handcuff is a great starter exercise if you have no equipment. Hands start behind the head, keep them as high off the floor as possible, and then down into the handcuff position. If you have a band at your disposal, prone band dislocates are an excellent progression. Take a Y position on a band, reach up and over the back, bring it down to the hips. The closer you hold the hands together in this exercise, the more difficult it becomes. Next up, we have a prone Y press. We're going to raise the dowel or broomstick as high off the floor as possible, mimic a behind the neck overhead press, and attempt to keep our shoulder blades pinned together at the back of our rib cage. Following on from this, we're going to look at scapular rhythm and pressing. So we're going to begin with a yoga push-up. Here, we start in a push-up position. We finish in a downward facing dog. We're thinking about driving our hands up above our head, similar to how we post for body slam or send somebody over for a back body drop. The inverse then of a yoga push-up is a crab extension. While I'm not amazing at this exercise, it's something that I'm still working on. We're looking to extend the hips and extend the shoulders at the same time, looking at the ceiling at the top of every rep. Some options then for hip mobility. We've got a shin box get up. Here we try and keep our hands off the floor, although you can use your hands as a post if you need to. And finally, an excellent drill which I've borrowed from amateur and catch wrestling, a sit out with a thoracic bridge. Stay on your toes, start off in the bear position, kick your right foot through to your left side, do not let your knees touch the floor, and come up into a one arm bridge. Great combination of shoulder and hip mobility here. So having watched that video, I'm going to give you two options on how to incorporate those movements into a warm-up. Option one is to build a simple circuit. What you're going to do is you're going to pick one or two of those exercises from each of those categories, one core, one glute, one shoulder, one hip mobility exercise, or more than one of each. From there, you're going to run through them circuit style, A to D, E, or F. You're going to take no more than 90 seconds of rest in between each one, and you're going to go for somewhere in the region of 4 or maybe 5 sets. Option two then, you're going to set a timer somewhere in the region of 12 to 20 minutes. From there, you're going to go through those exercises, as we said before, A to D or E or F, how many ever you have, and you're going to try and do as many laps of that circuit in the time that you've given yourself. So that will be what's called an AMRAP, as many rounds as possible. The key here is to go for movement quality. So you don't want to rush any of these movements. You want to take your time, making sure that you get full range of motion, especially in things like hip extensions and shoulder mobility exercises. If you have any questions on any of that, you can find me on social media. My tag on most things is @RatherBeDean or ATHERBEDEAN. And I'm always open to questions if you'd want to send me a DM.